A legendary monster may be lurking in the heartland.
I could see a pair of red eyes staring at me.
I felt like my life was actually in danger.
Those who dare walk at night should beware.
Sheer panic just came right over me, and I had to get out of there.
My uncle was never afraid in the woods until then.
Long thought to be imaginary. New evidence now suggests this creature may be all too real.
This didn't look like any type of human being.
Certainly there is a primal fear to this.
Monster Quest searches the woods of America.
You hear something? Something down there moved.
For werewolves.
That was just unnerving.
People around the world report seeing monsters. Are they real or imaginary? Science searches for answers on Monster Quest.
I'm thinking, what in God's name is that?
It was the middle of the night in late fall on a deserted rural road. Steve Kruger, a contractor for the Department of Natural Resources, was removing a deer from the middle of the road that had been struck by a car.
I was filling out the paperwork, and I felt a small shake going on in the truck. And I assumed it was the wind, so I didn't pay any attention to it the first time.
Then the truck shook with force.
It was a really vigorous and hard shake. That one caught my attention.
Something was reaching into the bed of Kruger's pickup.
So I actually glanced up in the rearview mirror, and I saw something that looked like it was a cross between a bear and a wolf, actually leaning in towards the back end of my truck. And it looked like it was actually reaching for something.
Kruger had never seen anything like it.
Sheer panic just came right over me, and I had to get out of there. I knew I had to throw it in the drive, and I stepped on it.
Kruger hit the gas to escape. He got away, but the beast managed to pull the deer carcass out of the truck.
It wasn't anything I've ever seen before. It had a long muzzle, like a bear, but only longer. It was black fur, really husky, and it had large pointed ears on the top of its head.
September 6, 1911, the Greenbush district of Madison, Wisconsin. Darkness has fallen in this impoverished immigrant neighborhood. 7-year-old Annie Lemberger and her 3 siblings are asleep. Annie lies near the window. A broken pane of glass lets in the night air. When morning comes, the neighborhood awakes to a day that will change it forever. The window is open, and Annie is gone.
Once Annie was declared missing, the town really did go crazy. Folks dropped everything, and 5,000 people out of a town total population of 25,000 were at the crime scene. Were milling around the little house she was supposed to have been taken from.
For 3 anxious days and nights, police and neighbors searched the surrounding railroad yards, marsh, and thickets for the missing girl.
Folks were searching everywhere for the child or possibly her body, and people just really were scared to death. People didn't go to work. Children didn't sleep at night. The newspapers were writing about an insane maniac loose in our midst.
On the morning of the 4th day, the search ends just a mile away, at the edge of Lake Monona. Within hours of the grim discovery, an arrest is made. The suspect is a local eccentric, his nickname, Dogskin, which he earned by once stealing the tanned hide of a dog.
The Legend Seekers, with your host, Madonna Davis.
This week, the legend of the Lively Family Massacre. The year is 1813. The first white settlers are venturing into the frontier of the Indiana Territory. Among them is the Lively family, led by John and Mary Jane Lively. But all is not well. hostile Native American Indians are determined to keep the settlers, or force them, off of Indian lands. The family is brutally murdered. According to the legend, somehow 2 of the children survived the horror, a boy, William, and an 8-year-old girl, Jane.
The French are friendly as ever, and Johnson particularly finds the conditions at the fort worth remarking on.
I opened the ball with a fine girl. We danced until 5 o'clock next morning.
The girl, Johnson learns, is Angélique Cuirayer de Beaubien. She is 26, unmarried, and the belle of the region. She is destined to play an unexpected role in the fate of Fort Detroit. Johnson, though taken with her, has far more pressing matters to consider: the Grand Council with the Indians. Johnson has little good news to bring them, and one piece of information he dares not reveal. Unknown to the revelers and to the Indians outside, both Croghan and Johnson have been given an order destined to shatter this tenuous peace and spark a bloody revolution. Tecumseh is almost 15 when Chicksika feels that he's ready for the honor of being initiated into a war party. His first opportunity is an attack on a force of 1,000 invading Kentuckians. Amid the screams, smoke, musket fire, and blood, the boy Tecumseh panics. He flees into the forest. Tecumseh is humiliated by his own behavior. He vows it will never happen again.
Que nous avons senti d'être choisis pour the joys that we felt at being selected for this expedition animated our courage and rendered the labor of paddling from morning to night agreeable to us. And because we were going to seek unknown countries, we took every precaution in our power so that if our undertaking were hazardous, it should not be foolhardy. To that end, we obtained all the information that we could from the savages who had frequented those regions. And we even traced out from their reports a map of the whole of that new country. On it, we indicated the rivers which we were to navigate, the names of the people and of the places through which we were to pass, the course of the great river, and the direction we were to follow when we reached it. Rivière, et la direction qu'on allait suivre quand on l'aura atteinte.